Did you speak with your husband about your beliefs of the election being stolen?
Thank you for your question. I look forward to answering members.
Right there, the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas finally did take questions from the January 6th committee today. And Chairman Benny Thompson says Ginny Thomas is sticking to her misguided claim that the 2020 election was stolen. We'll go one step further. It's not misguided. It is a flat-out lie. His committee is still figuring out when to hold its next hurricane-delayed public hearing. Members say it will not be next week, but will happen before the election. Joining me now to discuss, former federal prosecutor Glenn Kirshner. He has tried hundreds of cases in his 30-year career, including murder, organized crime, and precedent-setting cases. Glenn, what was the committee hoping to hear from Ginny Thomas? We both know she wasn't going to say anything.
No, she wasn't interested in being forthcoming, in being candid. And, you know, I think it actually turned out worse than perhaps we had expected, because in part, she was kind of a shill for her husband. She was a flack, saying things that we know we'll never hear from Justice Thomas because he's not going to be asked to testify. So she got to say whatever she wanted about how we never discuss cases and we really didn't discuss election fraud, or, you know, and if people believe that, well, then there are any number of bridges for sale. But then she also stuck with the big lie. She said, you know, she believes the election was stolen. And let's remember, that's in the face of 65 judges, including judges appointed by Donald Trump, who rejected these ridiculous attacks on the election's results. It's in the face of Christopher Krebs, right, the director of the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, saying this was the most secure election in U.S. history. And it's in the face of Bill Barr, Donald Trump's own attorney general.
You know what, Glenn?
Rarely do I cite him as authority as anything, but even he said the election wasn't stolen.
We're moving on. Our goal every night is to make people better and smarter. Ginny Thomas continuing to push this nonsense lie is getting no more moments on this hour. So let's talk about the special master in the Trump documents case. He has now been overruled by the original judge, Judge Aileen Cannon. Can you explain this to us? Because from what it seems like, her new ruling does not have reason or law on its side, but I don't know what's going on or who gets the final say.
You know, I can't make sense of this one, Steph, because Donald Trump demanded a special master to do a review of classified materials that he stole from the government and illegally concealed down at Mar-a-Lago. There really was no law supporting that a special master should be appointed to look for phantom privilege in documents that couldn't possibly have privilege attached to them. And then he demanded Judge Dearie be that special master. And Judge Cannon gave him everything he wanted. And now when Judge Dearie says, OK, I've been tasked with conducting this review, so I'm going to need some information. I'm going to need DOJ to certify that their inventory of what they seized is accurate. I'm going to need Donald Trump to do the same because he's been spouting off this nonsense about the FBI planting documents. That's a sensible request from a special master who is taking his responsibility seriously. And for Judge Cannon to swoop in and basically overrule Judge Dearie, who has been tasked with doing this review. You know, people said that Judge Dearie sort of put a put up or shut up order in place. And now it feels like Judge Cannon said, no, Donald Trump will not have to put up anything. And Judge Dearie, I'd kind of like you to shut up.
What is the rationale, right? With the exception of, oh, Donald Trump wants me to slow play this and he needs more time. What is the legal rationale to delay this thing?
There is no legal rationale. Now, apparently, Donald Trump and his team wanted more time. They wanted to delay this process, and Judge Cannon gave it to them, even though Judge Dearie, the one who's responsible for conducting the review, had a different timetable, a more expeditious timetable set out. Well, I think actually Judge Cannon, sadly, has the final word. She appointed Judge Dearie for a limited purpose, and he has to report back to her what he's intending to do. So she has the final word unless and until one of these decisions she makes prompts the Department of Justice to, again, try to get up to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. That appeal is still pending. And here's the good news, Steph. We know that the criminal investigation of Donald Trump vis-a-vis these documents is moving forward because the 11th Circuit said it can move forward. So a lot of this is window dressing. The important work is still moving forward.